Hey, what's up guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to TRHD. Today's video is going to be late because I'm back with another gaming PC build. And it's not just any other ordinary PC, this is a very expensive and a super powerful gaming PC build I've ever made till now. It's powered by Intel's i7 CPU and Nvidia's monster RTX 2080 Ti. I'm super excited about this build and hope you'll enjoy the video. So let's get started. Alright, so these are the components I'll be using in today's build. We'll be building an NZXT themed ultimate gaming PC. So as you can see, most of the components I'll be using in today's video are from NZXT. In this video, I'll show you how to assemble this PC step by step, do some benchmarks, and also check out the gaming performance by playing a variety of games. And yes, we will definitely be using a lot of RGB components to give this beast a beautiful look. So before starting with the video, I'd like to thank NZXT, Nvidia, and also ASUS for sending me their products to make this build happen. So let's get started. First, let me show you all the components that I'll be using one by one. The processor we'll be using in today's build is Intel's limited edition i7-8086K. It's a 6-core 12-thread CPU with a base clock frequency of 4 GHz and a max turbo frequency of 5 GHz. This is an ultimate CPU for gaming, guys. Initially, I planned on buying the Intel's latest 9th gen CPUs, but due to different reasons, I bought the 8086K. I actually made a special video on why I got this CPU instead of the 9th gen. You can check it out in the card above. So here is our brand new Intel CPU. This processor costed me around 36,000 rupees. Coming to the motherboard, I'll be using ASUS ROG Maximus 10 Hero gaming motherboard. This is an ultimate choice for gamers. It's an Intel Z370-80X MOBO and is perfect for 8th gen Intel CPUs. This motherboard supports Intel's Optane memory, Nvidia SLI, AMD Crossfire, and also has ASUS Aura Sync to fully control and customize the RGB lighting on your PC. Let me unbox it and show you. The ROG Maximus 10 Hero has onboard M.2 heatsink, Supreme FX audio, gaming grade connectivity options, and offers one-click system-wide overclocking facilities. So this is how our new gaming MOBO looks like. It's a beautiful looking motherboard with excellent features. The graphic card we'll be using is Nvidia's brand new RTX 2080 Ti. Now this thing is a beast, guys. It's built on Nvidia's powerful Turing GPU architecture and has 11 gigs of ultra-fast GDDR6 memory. When coupled with my i7, you can play games at 4K resolution in buttery smooth frame rates. So this is how beautiful the RTX 2080 Ti looks like. This is the Founders Edition and comes with a boost clock frequency of 1635 MHz. Talking about the RAM, I'll be using my all-time favorite G.Skill Sniper X DDR4. We'll be going with 16 gigs of RAM for this build. I've got 2 of these RAM sticks, each of 8 GB, so we'll be using them in a dual channel configuration. The Sniper X comes with a beautiful camouflage design on the top part that really sets them apart. They do support Intel XMP 2.0 and can be overclocked up to 3400 MHz. That is awesome, we've got some extremely fast RAM sticks in our hand. Coming to the CPU cooler, the Intel CPUs do not come with a stock cooler, you have to buy one separately. And for such powerful builds, there's no question of compromising in the cooling section. We'll be using NZXT's Kraken X52 240mm liquid cooler. It's a powerful RGB AIO liquid cooler that features the most advanced controls, all monitored by the CAM software. Using CAM, you can fully customize and fine-tune the settings to get optimal performance even in critical situations. Let me unbox it and show you the cooler. So here it is, our NZXT Kraken X52. It's got this massive performance engineered pump with a beautiful infinity mirror design. Coming to the storage section, we'll be using all SSDs for this build. The first one is Samsung's 860 EVO SATA M.2 SSD. It's a 250GB SSD and here is where I'll be installing the OS. And the other 2 are special RGB SSDs from T-Clast. I think I've already shown you this product in my last build. Well, I'll be using 2 of these over here. The model is called Flare X and comes with 240 gigs on each of them. So we've got a total of 720 to 730 GB of storage on this PC. Let me unbox it and show you how the Flare X RGB looks like. So this is how beautiful the SSD looks like. It's got an all-metal design, has RGB lighting on the sides, and has a read and write speeds of up to 520 MB per second. A powerful CPU and a mighty GPU definitely require a solid power supply, and therefore we're going with NZXT's 850W PSU. The model is E850. It's a fully modular digital power supply that lets you monitor all the things like voltages and also temperatures in real time using the CAM software. This PSU also supports silent operation with 0 RPM fan when working at very less loads. Let me unbox it and show you. So the PSU comes nicely packed like this in the box. You've got the NZXT branding here. Let me take it out and show you. There you go. So this is how NZXT's E850 PSU looks like. It's a fully modular PSU and looks beautiful in matte black. All the PSU cables also come nicely stored in this purple NZXT bag. Let me open it and show you. You've got a lot of high quality sleeved cables to even supply power to multi-GPU systems. I'll tell you about the pricing details of all these components at the end of this video. And finally, coming to the PC cabinet, we'll be using NZXT's flagship case, the H700i. This is a premium mid-tower smart case that comes with onboard lighting and fan control. Let me show you how it looks like. Ta-ta-da! So here it is guys, the H700i. It comes in 4 different colors. I've got the matte black plus red color variant. The thing that makes this case special is its premium aesthetics and smart cam-powered features. From the first look, you might think it's a simple looking case with no flashy RGB fans, but once you finish building and power it on, trust me, you will be blown away. It's got an all-metal body with a huge tempered glass panel on the side. And just look at those red colored interiors. It's a huge cabinet and supports all types of motherboards. You've got the control panel on the top with 2 USB 2.0 ports and 2 USB 3.0 ports. And this is how it looks from the backside. So that was our overview on all the components. Now let's get started with the build. The first thing we need to do is install the processor on the motherboard. You need to be very careful while handling processors and shouldn't touch the contacts on the backside. Usually on AMD processors, the pins are present on the CPU, while in the case of Intel, the pins are present on the motherboard socket. We've got an LGA 1151 socket, and the first thing you need to do is lift this lever gently like this, and that will expose the socket. The next step we need to do is take the CPU out of this tray and install it on the motherboard. Now the CPU will sit only in one direction, so you always need to check the orientation before installing. You need to make sure that the 2 cutouts at the top match in orientation and the gold triangle on the CPU matches with the triangle engraved on the socket. After checking all that, carefully take the CPU out and place it gently on top of the socket. Just like this. The final step you need to do is drop down the lid, check that the lid goes below the screw here, and lock the lever firmly back in its place. And when you do that, this upper plastic card should pop out like this. And that's it guys, we've successfully installed a brand new Intel CPU. That was super simple, right? Now it's time to install the motherboard in the cabinet. The ROG Maximus 10 Hero is a premium gaming motherboard that comes with a pre-mounted I/O shield, so you don't need to fix anything separately. Okay, so let's place the motherboard in the cabinet. The H700i is quite spacious and is compatible with all type of motherboards like ATX, Micro ATX and even Mini ITX. While placing the motherboard, make sure that you match all the screw holes on the cabinet with the holes on the motherboard. After that, just take some screws which you get with your case and start fixing the MOBO. And that's it, you'll be done with the MOBO installation. The next step we need to do is install the 240mm liquid cooler. As you can see, I've already fixed the radiator at the top part. The installation process was very easy. After fixing the radiator, the next thing you need to do is fix the AIO pump on top of the CPU. Make sure that you align it properly so the NZXT logo is straight and not reversed. Now before fixing the pump, you need to apply some thermal paste on top of the CPU. In case your cooler comes with pre-applied thermal paste from the factory, then you don't need to apply again. So apply some paste like this, put the pump on the top and fix these 4 screws provided with the cooler, just like this. That's it guys, we've successfully installed our liquid cooler also. Now it's time to install the RAM sticks. We'll be installing 2 RAM sticks, each of 8 gigs clocked at 3400 MHz. The installation procedure is super simple. You've got 4 RAM slots on the MOBO, A1, A2, B1 and B2. We'll be installing our RAM sticks in the A2 and B2 slots. Just open the lever, check the direction of the RAM and push it hardly until the lever locks itself. There you go. Let's also install the second one. And that's it, we're done with the installation of RAM also. Now the only few things left to do is install the graphics card, the power supply and fix all the SSDs. Now these are very simple to do, that's why I won't be showing you in detail. If you want, you can check out my previous build videos for detailed tutorials. Just slide the PSU like this and fix it firmly with these provided 4 screws. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll just connect all the cables to the components, do all the wiring part and be right back to continue the video. Alright guys, I'm back. I've installed all the remaining parts and also done with the wiring. And this is how our beast looks like. Let me give you all a closer look and tell you how and where to connect all the cables. The first thing you need to connect is this 24-pin ATX power cable to the motherboard. Without this, the MOBO won't turn on. To hide all the cables, the H700i also comes with a nice cable management shroud. It gives a decent look to the PC. The next thing you need to do is connect an 8-pin power cable to the CPU socket over here. Coming to the GPU, you need to connect two 6 plus 2-pin PCI cables from the power supply. The quality of the cables were good, but they were really hard at the joints, so it was a bit difficult while routing. Talking about the SSDs, I fixed the SSDs over here, so you could see the beautiful RGB lighting through the glass. For the SSDs, you just need to connect some power cables and a SATA cable from the SSD to the motherboard. Talking about the liquid cooler, you've got quite a few connections to do here. You need to connect a micro USB cable from the pump to a USB 2.0 header on the motherboard, a SATA cable to the power supply, two cables to the radiator fans, and one more cable to the CPU fan socket on the motherboard. So those are all the connections for the AIO pump. And coming to the radiator, the only thing left to do is connect all the RGB LED cables from the fan to the different RGB headers on your motherboard. So we've successfully connected almost all the cables from different components. The only thing left is to connect the front control panel to the motherboard, which includes a HD audio cable, power switch, USB 2.0 and USB 3.0 cables. And that's it guys, we've successfully assembled a new gaming PC. The final thing you need to do is install an OS and see if it boots up. So this is the setup we'll be using for today. The monitor I'm using is LG's 27-inch 4K IPS monitor and all the peripherals are from Logitech. Now let's power on the PC and see how it looks like. There you go, our PC has successfully powered on. Awesome! Let me just peel this sticker on top of the tempered glass. Beautiful! So this is how our NZXT H700i Ultimate PC build looks like. Oh my god, just look at this beauty. We've got a lot of RGB components on the inside and all of them can be synced and fully controlled with the ASUS Aura Sync, except the NZXT products. For that you need to use their own software called CAM. And just check out the pump on the Kraken. Holy smokes, the pump looks amazing! This is the most beautiful RGB liquid cooler I've ever seen till now. The RGB lighting on it is fully customizable with CAM and has huge number of lighting effects. And this is how our RTX 2080 Ti looks like. Since this is the Founders Edition, it doesn't have much lighting, but still looks pretty decent in neon green. The H700i comes with two built-in LED strips which are connected to the Hue Plus lighting kit, and these LED strips can also be synced with the other NZXT products. Wow, the build is so gorgeous, I just can't stop staring. It's like eye candy for me. This is my first RGB PC in 2019 and I'm super happy with this build. It looks absolutely awesome. I told you about those RGB SSDs, right? This is how they look like. The red and black color scheme on the H700i gives a nice sporty feel and kinda reminds me of Ferrari in terms of both looks and performance. It's powered by top-notch next level stuff on the inside. So this is my brand new 2019 gaming setup. Holy moly, the build looks amazing on my desk. This PC is so powerful that it can even play AAA title games in 4K at buttery smooth frame rates. Wow, I am in love with this PC. Alright, now let's talk about performance and benchmarks. I've ran Geekbench 4 on it and got a single core score of 5363 and a multi-core score of 23781. That's a pretty decent score. This build is great for both gaming as well as video editing. And on OpenCL, the RTX 2080 Ti got a whopping score of around 3,39,636. 2080 Ti is an absolute beast when it comes to gaming. Okay, so let's jump into the gaming section and see how it performs. Let's first start with Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 is a very popular AAA title graphic intensive game. In this gameplay video, we'll be pushing the RTX 2080 Ti to the maximum limits and see how it performs. By the way, I'm using my Xbox 360 joystick to play all these games. Before starting, let me show you all the graphic settings. As you can see, we're playing this game at 4K 60Hz with all the special effects turned on. DX12 is enabled and even DXR is enabled. And as you can see, all the graphic qualities are set to Ultra. Oh my god, so we'll be playing the games at 4K in Ultra graphic settings. Let's get started, let's see how this PC performs. Holy smokes, this is amazing! I don't know what you guys are seeing in the video, but to me in reality, this is like heaven. The game feels so smooth, just look at it! The graphics are amazing in this game. You have to play this game live on my PC to actually know how good it is. RTX 2080 Ti paired with my Intel i7-8086K is doing an excellent job. Even with DXR enabled, I was getting around 40 to 45 FPS average frame rate at 4K Ultra settings. If you disable DXR, you'll easily get around 60 to 70 FPS. Just check out the gameplay. Excellent performance guys, this is truly a monster build. The gaming experience on this PC is like next level. If you want a constant 60 or above 60 frame rate, just turn off DXR and you'll easily get that. Along with Battlefield 5, I've also played Just Cause 4. We'll be playing this game also in 4K resolution at maximum graphics settings. Just check out the gameplay. As you can see, it's easily maintaining an average frame rate of 60 FPS, and the gameplay experience was buttery smooth. Hands down, this is definitely the most powerful gaming PC build I've ever made on my channel.
The console.
Touch me, and I'll locate Espinosa for you.
You're in, Mira.
Listo. Stay close to that console, or I'll lose my connection.
Shit.
Just hold them off. I'll find him as fast as I can.
They're trying, lady. Got a black hand here.
I'm through security. Just hang in a few more seconds and you'll be able to move, Rico. I'm looking for you.
Take your time.
So that was my video on the most powerful gaming PC build. Let me just summarize all the component prices and tell you the exact price of this PC. Starting with the CPU, the Intel i7-8086K processor costed me around 36,000 rupees. Nvidia's RTX 2080 Ti Founders Edition costed around 1.2 lakhs. The Asus 10 Hero is priced for 29,000 rupees. Coming to the RAM, G-Skill SniperX 16GB kit is available for 20,000 rupees. NZXT's Kraken X52 AI liquid cooler costed 18,000 rupees. The Ferrari Red H700i costed around 33,000 rupees, and the E850 power supply was priced for 14,000 rupees. Talking about the storage, 860 EVO M.2 from Samsung cost 5,000, and both the RGB SSDs from T-Class costed around 13,000 rupees. Talking about the peripherals, the mouse I'm using is Logitech's G502 Hero, which is priced for 6,300 rupees, and my mechanical gaming keyboard cost 5,000 rupees. Finally, my 27-inch 4K IPS monitor from LG costs around 60,000 rupees. So the total price of this build comes down to 3,64,000 rupees. For that price, this is the ultimate machine you can build for both 4K gaming as well as video editing. So that's it for today guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more new awesome videos. And I'll see you in the next one.